Hey Mavericks, how's it going? We are so excited to be with you today. It's hard to believe that we are already well into the middle of January. So our question for you right now is, have you set your priorities for this year? Do they include three key components: brain, body, and business? Today we're going to be talking about those three things and how important they are for you in terms of ensuring that you achieve everything that you desire to achieve, have the fulfillment that you want in your life, and are truly living your best life. But before we dive into that, I'm Terry.
And I'm Kayla.
And we're Lady MAVS.
And we're a mother-daughter team with a mission to uplift, inspire, and empower you to step into your worth, step into your power, and live the life you love, happy, healthy, and financially secure.
So when it comes to priorities, we all have them. There are things that we know that we have to do on a daily or a weekly or a monthly basis. Whether it's, making sure that we report to our job at 8 o'clock in the morning, we pick up the kids, we make sure that we take time to do our taxes, all of those things. Not necessarily the things we want to do, but the things that take precedence. What we want you to do is think about that. If you haven't done it yet, kind of identify what those things are, those big rock things that you have to do consistently to make your life work. And if you have a calendar in front of you, block those things off and see what available time that you have otherwise. Not the time that you watch TV and the time that you're scrolling through Facebook and all of those things, but the really important things that make your life run. And then the three things that are really big rocks, but we don't necessarily take care of all of them in the way that we should: the brain, the body, and business. In order to live your best life, you have to make sure that you're carving time out for these three things.
Okay, so the first B is brain. And, what do we mean by taking time to really focus on our brain? Mindset, it's thrown out a lot. A lot of people, when they think about mindset, it's very positivity focused, right? And leaving the bad stuff behind and carrying only good things forward and always thinking positive thoughts and no negative thoughts. That's not necessarily what working on your mindset is all about. It doesn't mean that you have to be happy-go-lucky 100% of the time. Like maybe you even have somebody in your life like that, right? They're just a Christmas tree 24/7, and it can be really annoying. I'm not talking that. I am talking working on your limiting beliefs, working on your mindset in terms of, if there's something you want, getting your head in the right place where you feel like you are worthy enough to go after it, where you're good enough to go after it, that you have the resourcefulness and that you can develop the skills to accomplish whatever it is in life that you want. That is what we mean when we say focusing on our brain. It's really important to do this every day. It could be reading mindset books, listening to podcast videos, Tony Robbins, Marie Forleo, or those kinds of people that really inspire you to really take charge of your life and pull you out of whatever slump you might be in and get you into action mode. And I think we get so busy that sometimes we neglect our own mindset, and it's really important to take some time every day to do this. It doesn't have to be very long. It can be 10, 15, 20 minutes in the morning before you have to go to work, or even on your way to work, or even after you get home and you can just settle down with a glass of wine or whatever. And really invest that time into yourself. When you are focusing on getting your brain right, it just helps to enhance your life. Even just yesterday, we sat down and kind of talked with each other about some of the epiphany moments that we've had over our lives and what has been good about those epiphany moments, what has been, bad, and how can we take those moments and use them to move forward, to better ourselves. See if you can figure out what might be holding you back, right? And then what are the action steps that you can take to push through whatever those negative beliefs might be and really start to get your life going in the direction you want it to go.
We all have thoughts that go through our minds that don't serve us. And you know what they are. You can't do that, or you're not good enough, or you're not worth it, or you don't belong in that crowd. If you can learn to catch yourself when those thoughts come to mind and to shift it, to just change your thoughts around that and change it to something that's more serving, that's part of focusing on the brain too. So you can do that throughout the day without, you're not necessarily setting aside 15, 20 minutes or whatever that might be for you, but you're learning to acknowledge the thoughts that are going through your mind, and are they serving you, or are they doing you a disservice? And if they're doing you a disservice, how can you change them to empower you in a more positive and meaningful way?
All right, the second B is body. Our body is a vehicle that we drive around, and we have to take care of it, right? Like, would you put Coke in your gas tank? No, you wouldn't. You put premium fuel or whatever fuel that car calls for. Our bodies are very, very similar. We have to feed it the right things, take care of it, make sure it gets the exercise it needs every day, make sure it gets the rest that it needs. Physical self-care is super important. Each one of us is a little bit different in that regard, but I guarantee you there is something your body needs that probably it's not getting, because a lot of people just don't really, again, take the time to focus on their self-care. For example, one thing that my body really needs is to get out and move. I love to run, I love to get out and walk and do all these kinds of things. And if I don't do that, if I go several days without doing that, it's not good for my body. I start to feel heavier.
Or your brain.
Yeah, or your brain, right? I start to feel heavier, both literally and figuratively. It's just not good for my brain, actually. If I'm not taking care of my body, my brain just doesn't really function right either. So what is something that you absolutely love to do for your physical self?
And remember too, when it comes to your body, that baby steps are better than no steps. It doesn't mean you have to upend your entire lifestyle overnight. What it does mean is making your physical well-being a priority. Because let's face it, when we feel our best, we perform our best. Mm-hmm. And when we are at our best, we are our best for the other people in our lives. If we don't feel well, lacking energy, don't have that vitality, then we are not able to be the best that we can be for the other people in our lives, for the things that we want to accomplish and achieve. Make sure that you're carving out time every single day to take care of you.
And ask yourself, what will you do, right? A lot of people, particularly at the beginning of the year, they make all of these big lofty goals about what they're going to do and how they're going to get in the best shape of their life, and they're going to look like The Rock. And that takes more work and pain than a lot of people really realize. So what are you willing to do? What discomfort might you be willing to put yourself through? Are you willing to go out and, jog 15 minutes a day? Are you willing to start eating more plants? Are you willing to start drinking more water? It could be any combination of those things. It could be more intense. It could be less intense. Just ask yourself, what are you willing to do? And go ahead and hold yourself to that. Block out the time required to fit those things in. And I promise you, you're going to start feeling a whole lot better, and your body is going to thank you for it.
So what about the third B, business? Okay, so we talked in the beginning about, you have all these things that you have to do, and a lot of people associate that with the business of life, right? But what we're talking about is those goals and dreams and aspirations that are outside of what you may typically be doing in terms of your career or taking care of your family, all of those things. So what aspirations do you have? And it could be for your business and certain goals that you have, or you're starting a new business. You've got to give it time and attention on a consistent basis. It might be working on your personal brand. It might be writing the book you've always dreamed of writing. It could be so many different things. It's all personal to you and what it is you want to achieve in your life and what's going to bring you fulfillment. When it comes to the business of getting those things done that are really important to you, but aren't always on the schedule, so to speak, this is where you really need to hone in on what those really important things are for you and make sure you're carving time out every single day to take a step toward making it happen. If you're wanting to write a book, then commit to writing 500, 1,000 words every single day or 5 days a week. Coming
That
from a writer.
sounds like a lot when you're 13 years old, but it's not a lot.
It might be you're wanting to start your own YouTube channel, scheduling when you're going to set it up and when you're going to do your first recording. It might be that you are wanting to launch a business and you're just not sure exactly what that is or what it looks like. Then your first step obviously is going to be doing some research. So carving some time out to do that, whether it's 30 minutes tonight or 30 minutes in the morning or whatever that is for you, pull questions together, reach out to people, get them answered. Make a list of those things that you know you need to do and then get into action doing them. When you think about these three areas, the brain, the body, and business, it's so true that they are intricately entwined. They're dependent on one another. If we're not working on what's going up in our minds, if we're not working on what's happening with our bodies, and if we're not dedicating time to the things that are going to bring us fulfillment and satisfaction in life, everything is going to be out of sync. It's kind of like a three-legged stool. It doesn't stand up if you remove one of those legs.
You don't want to sit on one of those with one of the legs missing.
So keep that in mind. Think about the brain, the body, and business as that three-legged stool, and make sure that all the legs are in alignment and that they're all balanced. Otherwise, your life is going to tumble because you're not going to have the mental resolve that you need. You're not going to have the physical capability and strength that you need, and you're not going to have the fulfillment and the satisfaction in life that you desire.
I would say too, with all three of these things, that they're your responsibility, right? Even with business, it could be, you could be building your business from home or online, and you don't have a boss that's going to fire you if you don't show up, right? You've got to take the initiative and be responsible and do that for yourself. Just like a 9-to-5 job is scheduled in and you know when you have to be there. It's the same thing with the body, the brain, and the business. It's incredibly important to make those priorities as though they're a traditional job. You have to do them, or you have to fire yourself.
Be your own boss.
That's right, be your own boss. Well, and two, it's important if you have a family or if you have friends that you spend a lot of time with, make sure they know. If you all of a sudden start taking a lot of time to focus on your personal care and on your business, sometimes you have to spend less time with your family or your friends, and it's important to let them know the reasons behind why you're doing it. It's to really make you better so you can be better for them. So it's definitely important that for the people you love in your life, that they support you in whatever you're doing for yourself. And if they don't support you, bye-bye.
Thing I would encourage you to, and it's something that I think we've been very successful with, is doing activities that engage all three. Whatever is important to us, we're meshing that with working on our brains and our bodies at the same time. And this actually started for us when Kayla was little, because she's always been like my top priority. And so I always loved to exercise. I was a major runner. I still love to run today. But when Kayla was growing up, running was not her gig. But she did love to walk with me. She loved spending time with me just as much as I loved spending time with her. And so every day we would go out and we would walk several miles a day. So we were working on our relationship. We were working on our bodies because we were being active. We were doing it together. And we were also working on our brains. And if things were bothering her, we were able to talk through them. I was able to maybe help her shift perspective on them, and vice versa. I mean, our children, whatever age they are, have insights like they often don't get the recognition for that they deserve because they see things as they are. And so we were able to help each other, and always have been able to help each other in terms of that brain health. So find ways to mesh everything together. And it could be that you love running, or you do a treadmill or whatever. You can do it with your headset and listen to a podcast at the same time for something that is helping move you forward to achieving your dream or your goal or whatever it is. So it's not necessarily that you have to block out X amount of time for all three. What if you blocked out X amount of time, you could get it all done kind of simultaneously? And that's not always the case, but oftentimes it is. That's going to lend itself also to you being as effective and efficient as you can possibly be in all areas of your life.
We were really excited to have the idea to talk about this with you guys today. It really ties into what we're all about. And the awesome thing is we have a free unconventional success guide that really helps work on particularly the brain and the business aspects. It walks you through the 4 essential rules every success-minded woman needs to know so you never have to sacrifice your priorities and can live the life you love. So if you head on over to www.ladymavslife.com/unconventional guide and punch the download button, we can absolutely hook you up with that if you are ready to take your life to the next level, take your business to the next level, or even if you're just kind of starting out with maybe a new business venture that you are engaging in. This guide is really phenomenal for that, and it's completely free, our gift to you guys. So be sure to head on over and grab that. We're super excited to see how it helps you be able to implement into your life the things that are going to help you grow and achieve. And the great thing is, from a body standpoint, the same rules apply. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you found value here with us today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and our Facebook and Instagram links are in the description box below.
It is our privilege to support, empower, and uplift you to live the life you love.
Cheers.